Nigeria says it has rehabilitated hundreds of former extremists, individuals once linked to terror, violence, and fear, and returned them to society. Some reports suggest the number runs into the hundreds, even above 700. But beyond the numbers, there is a deeper question that many people are now asking. Is Nigeria truly ready for their return? For more than a decade, the country has been battling insurgency, especially from groups like Boko Haram and its splinter factions. Entire communities have been destroyed, families torn apart, thousands of lives lost, millions displaced. Even today, many parts of northern Nigeria are still struggling with insecurity, fear, and the long-term impact of terrorism. Now, the federal government says some of those who once participated in that violence have been rehabilitated, deradicalized, and are ready to rejoin society. On the surface, this may sound like progress, a shift from war to peace building, a strategy that focuses not just on fighting insurgents, but on reducing their numbers by encouraging surrender and reintegration. But when you look closer, the situation becomes more complex and more concerning. What does rehabilitation really mean in this context? Can a program that lasts months or even a few years truly erase years of exposure to extremist ideology? Can it completely change beliefs that were deeply ingrained through violence, fear, and survival? And perhaps the most critical question of all, what kind of society are these individuals returning to? Because Nigeria is still facing serious challenges. Poverty remains widespread. Youth unemployment is high. Many communities lack access to basic opportunities like education, healthcare, and stable income. These are not just economic problems, they are some of the very conditions that have allowed extremist groups to recruit in the first place. So if those conditions have not significantly improved, what has truly changed? Are we reintegrating people into a better environment, or sending them back into the same circumstances that may have contributed to their radicalization? This is where the concern becomes difficult to ignore. Rehabilitation does not end when someone leaves a program. In fact, that is where the real challenge begins. Reintegration requires long-term monitoring, psychological support, community acceptance, and access to livelihoods. Without these, the risk does not disappear, it simply shifts. And in some communities, that risk is already being felt emotionally, even if not physically. There have been growing concerns among residents about whether they were properly consulted before former fighters were returned. Some communities have expressed fear, anger, and deep uncertainty. Because for victims of terrorism, this is not just policy, it is personal. Imagine living in a place that was attacked. Imagine losing family members, your home, your sense of safety. And then being told that individuals once associated with that violence are coming back to live among you. Can trust be rebuilt so easily? Should it be expected? The government maintains that deradicalization programs are necessary, that they help reduce the number of active fighters and weaken insurgent groups over time. And there is logic to that argument. Encouraging defections can be a powerful tool in ending conflict. But every strategy carries risks. If even a small number of rehabilitated individuals return to violence, if they reconnect with extremist networks, the consequences could be severe. And this is not just speculation. Security experts have repeatedly warned that without strong post-reintegration systems, the risk of relapse remains real. Then there is another question, one that many Nigerians are quietly asking. What about those who never picked up arms? Across the country, millions of young people are struggling with poverty, unemployment, and lack of opportunity. They have not committed crimes, they have not taken part in violence, yet they continue to face hardship with limited support. At the same time, individuals once linked to insurgency are being given structured rehabilitation, training, and reintegration support. So what message does this send? Is the system prioritizing those who once embraced violence over those who have remained peaceful despite difficult conditions? Or is this simply a necessary compromise in the pursuit of long-term stability? These are difficult questions, but they are important ones, because Nigeria's security challenges cannot be solved by rehabilitation alone. The roots of the crisis go deeper into poverty, inequality, governance issues, and lack of opportunity. Until those root causes are addressed, any effort to reintegrate former extremists will remain uncertain. So as the government continues this policy, the conversation must go beyond numbers. It must focus on safety, on trust, on long-term impact. Are communities truly prepared? Are monitoring systems strong enough? Are the underlying causes of extremism being addressed? Because in the end, this is not just about those who have been rehabilitated. It is about the millions of Nigerians who must live with the outcome of this decision every single day. And they deserve more than assurances. They deserve clear answers. For more in-depth analysis and verified reports on issues shaping Nigeria and beyond, follow Stone Reporters News and stay informed.